All right. Going to do that. And good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Doc Skinner with 1028 Live. It is Tuesday. What day is it? December 4th. No, wait. December 11th. Man, this month has flown by. But we've got an amazing guest tonight. We're going to be a little more lighthearted, you might say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Michael Loftis. There he is. Hi, Michael.
We are using technology for good.
Well, hopefully everything will be working now. I think this is take 3. Lots of gremlins that follow this show.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I know it's not 1028 Live, but whatever. We're still getting it out there. I'm so excited. I've been nervous, Rick, having you on. Yet you're my friend. I shouldn't be nervous, but you're huge, and you're on my show. So thank you.
It's 1028 Live, man. This is bigger than Live PD Nation. This is bigger than Cops. It's 1028. Now, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
What does the name 1028 Live mean? What does that mean?
Well, originally, my company's name is 1028 Productions.
Okay.
And I kind of was staying in the shadows, but there was an incident that happened about 2 years ago where there was a police shooting, officer down, and there was a big manhunt all over the mountain looking for this guy. Ended up kidnapping a young girl, big meth head and stuff, and brought her into a cabin with butane tanks. And it was a gigantic standoff. They had all the agencies up here, the Navajo Nation, Apache Nation. They had the FBI, state, local, whole 9 yards. And my buddy had got stuck because he was trying to go to Walmart, but they blocked off the roads. And he said, "You get your camera, get over here now." Little did we know we were the only people there reporting this event for 3 hours.
Wow.
And it was broadcast live and streamed live on news stations in 22 countries. And so, so the whole anonymity was gone. But
Yeah.
1028. All right.
So how did it end? Did the little girl get away?
Yes, she was injured in the shootout. It was, he was hamburger. It's pretty intense.
1028 is 1028? Is that like a police code?
No, well, I'm sure it is. I just don't know what it means. But no, I was 1028.
I dropped my sandwich.
Right.
We got a 1028. We got to go back to Burger King.
Right. No, and it's been a mystery for a long time, but I was produced on October 28th. 1028.
Oh, there you go.
It's a play on words.
My production company should be 714. See, there you go. We got the little birthday. So you guys now the audience knows when to send the presents.
Oh, the annual bash is always fun. So yeah, because it's Halloween weekend. So yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good birthday weekend.
It always follows on Halloween. So yeah,
good plan.
Yeah,
good plan.
It took my parents really mapped it out.
Yeah, they're like
so.
Halloween, yes.
That's all right, cool. My mother's just blushing right now. Oh my gosh. So, dude, Mike, you have been doing so much since we last worked together on Flipside with Michael Loftis.
Yeah.
So tell us what's going on with you. Let people know who you are, the ones that don't know, because they will.
Well, you and I met. I'm gonna crank up my speakers here. You and I met in what was that? What'd you call that? Addison, Texas? Where was that?
South Lake, Texas.
South Lake, Texas.
Yeah.
We were working on the Flipside, which was a political comedy show that kind of leaned to the right. And that was a lot of fun. So I would go to Texas on the weekends and we'd film an episode, and then I'd fly back to Los Angeles where I was a writer-producer on Anger Management with Charlie Sheen.
Have I heard of that one? Yeah, that one.
He's okay. His dad does well.
Yeah.
So
was he a president?
His dad was the president. Yep. during the Bay of Pigs, I believe.
Right.
His dad is on the 50-cent piece.
Oh, speaking of real quick, just to interject the president thing. I've got Laura Eisenhower coming on my show next month. President
Really?
Eisenhower's great-great-granddaughter. Yeah, we're going to be talking about some way out there stuff, probably like 18 and up audience. It's gonna
Like what? Like what?
dark, crazy stuff. Stuff that people blow off or dismiss, like Mars programs, secret space programs,
Okay.
and then the dark side, SRA, trafficking and all that stuff. But to have my grandmother's really excited.
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, anyway, presidents. So moving on, you are you have to watch that show. So you were doing that show, and then of course I guess the show stopped. And then
Yeah, the guy who was putting up the money, it was very difficult. It was a tough position because everyone loved the show. Everyone was super excited about the show, but every little independent station was worried about being sued or being boycotted or just having this giant liberal PC culture police just descend upon them like a horde of locusts. So we kind of had to, with the flip side, we kind of went really, really soft with the jokes because I just wanted it to exist. And because we were on these really bizarre little stations, the money wasn't there in the first season. So the guy who was funding it kind of said, I'm out. And I'm like, well, I want to keep it going. So I moved the show to Los Angeles to a little comedy club on the beach called Hermosa Beach Comedy and Magic Club. Insanely famous. Seinfeld, Robin Williams, Jay Leno, Gary Shandling, everybody's worked this club. So they have a little side room. So we did 2 more seasons of the show from there. And it was hilariously funny. It was a really, really good show. And then I got offered a job writing on this show, Kevin Can Wait, on CBS.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I was once again. I found it's a lot easier to go from L.A. to Dallas than it is New York to L.A., film a show, and then come home. It was just beating me up. It was just beating me up. And then Kevin was like, "Dude, you've done 3 seasons of it. Just stay here, work on the show." And I'm like, okay. So I figured 3 seasons of, I would argue, the most successful political comedy show that leans to the right ever on television. Sadly, no one saw it.
It's going to be like a cult classic, like later down the line, but that's not what we want. We want to get people there now.
But it's tough, political comedy is as soon as you tell the joke, it's over. Like you have to celebrate it in the moment and then it's over. It just changes so fast. So right now, I am in the process of putting together the workings for an even bigger, better version of that show. A political comedy show that leans to the right, interviews, guests, but it's got to be, I don't want to do the little independent stations that are terrified. I want to go big. I want to go Netflix. I want to go CBS. So as soon as everyone in Hollywood finishes with the winter break, I'm not going to say who, but I have a very good production partner. I've got an awesome showrunner, and we're going to go out. We're going to take some meetings and sell this puppy.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Glad to see it coming out. It was just, I enjoyed it. It was so much fun. I mean, the show's great. Even the one you got going on YouTube. You want to tell people about that? Your YouTube page?
Well, even when, and this is just, I don't know how political we want to get here. I am what you call I'm a libertarian. I'm a Republican. I lean to the right, whatever. I don't want big government. I never think that government is the solution to any problem. So I found that like there's not a lot of conservatives having fun.
Right.
Right. You don't see, and I tell you what, statistically, conservatives are having more sex than liberals. They're having, I'm not kidding, they're having freakier sex. And so I'm like, we've got a real image problem. So I just wanted to start a fun website, the loftisparty.com. And it's literally, we're talking about video games, we're talking about movies, we're talking politics, pop culture, whatever. And it's really great. This is my third iteration of the site, and finally I've got it where there's really good interaction. You can go, and if like, dude, you could go on there tonight and write a blog and post it, and people can see it and comment on it. So it's almost like it's a combination website, social media platform. And I've got the Loftus Party podcast is up there. I do videos twice a week, just little, short comedy videos. Like I did one the other day where I was a French guy explaining what was wrong with France and why they were rioting. It's like, we have all these holidays. We have five weeks off, but someone must pay. Someone must pay. And then they tax the gasoline. Fire. I'm lighting everything on fire. So it's the loftisparty.com is just good, silly, fun, and hopefully it'll get a little raunchy. I want some more TNA on there, man.
Oh yeah. I had to change a diaper when I saw the Christmas one with the Satanist.
Oh yeah. That was hilarious. Just the idea.
Oh, talk about it.
Just the idea that like these people who call themselves like the Satanists, and they had decorated a Christmas tree in a public park in San Jose, and they were upset because people were stealing the ornaments. It's like, you're either evil or you're not. You can't be like, oh, the devil. Hey, where'd the ornaments go? It's like, you can't. I think if their little religion is true, they're going to be very surprised when they get to where they're going. You don't get to rule the underworld when Lucifer is like, and what have you done? I decorated a tree, but they stole the ornaments. It would have been a lot nicer, but they just ruined everything. Lord of darkness, father of all lies. What do you think your place in Satan's army is going to be?
Tell them about you were talking about the plague, and then was it like, I did the plague and all this.
Oh yeah,
what did you do?
It's like the new guy with the ornaments is talking to like a real demon. He's like, what did you do? I started the Black Plague and killed 75% of Europe. What did you do? I decorated a tree and they stole the ornaments, and it was a wreck. It was just a wreck.
And I kept my eyeliner in line.
Yeah, right. Check out my leather wristband. That's hot, right? Anyway, Stacy's gonna do my hair, and we're gonna do some goth dancing in the park later. We're evil. Ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I think I even posted it hurt my cheekbones last time. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I love watching your videos. So what do you, with what's going on just in the past week or so, what do you see the humor in any of it? Because I remember when we did the show, you're hardcore, man. I walk in, it's usually the first crew member into the show when we were doing the Flipside.
Yeah.
And you guys were writing away. And this is, of course, in Dallas. And I said, first thing I said, you said hello. And I was like, hey, you guys aren't going to do any jokes about the Ebola thing, are you? And you guys were like, oh, yes. The best time to do it.
Yeah. Was that your suit we used for that?
Oh, yeah, because you were like, well, what should we do? And I said, well, what is it? You guys going to come out with a big old nuclear biological chemical suit or something? Like, oh, that would be great. Where can we find? Was there a costume shop? And I was like, I'll be right back. Went out to the car, had my bug out bag in the car, and brought in the chemical suit. You did
that. Was awesome.
The intro. Yeah.
Yeah. I took off the thing. Welcome to the Flipside.
Yeah, live from Dallas. So, yeah, that's why I'm so excited to hopefully do something with you in the future. Again, because I mean, I just love working with you. Now, you, I Oh, I didn't even get to officially announce that you were a writer, producer, and a comedian, but I think they can figure that out by now.
Like God, let's hope so. That'd be
I
sad.
know. That would be very, very sad if they didn't catch that by now. Now, you're doing your show. Are you doing any other shows? You always work in multiples, so.
Yeah, I've been, knock on wood, I've been very fortunate. I did a little work on a feature film a while ago. I don't want to jinx that and talk about it because
Okay.
the feature world will break your heart.
Mm-hmm.
But that one has a pretty A-list Hollywood star in it. That would start next winter, and that would be I think that's a Netflix thing. Then I wrote on I did punch up on this other script, little small independent film. They just got done with principal photography in Alabama, and I got to actually reach out to those guys tomorrow because I want to take a peek at some of the footage. So I'm doing that. Always writing something. I have a script for a sitcom that's making its rounds now, and then I've also, when I'm not writing on the website, I never thought, it's so sad to say, but I'm like, I kind of dig the whole blogging aspect on the website. But then I got hired by this company to adapt this Australian TV show for American television. And that's been kind of fun. And that's another one where I don't want to jinx anything by talking about it too much, but yeah, I've been very lucky. And then starting at the end of January, and this is the cool thing for 1028 Live, you're getting the scoop here.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to be going on the road with a couple of other comedians, and we're doing this thing called the Deplorable Comedy Tour.
Nice.
You know, Hillary during the 2016 election famously called, Trump supporters, you could put half of them in a basket of deplorables and the other half are, so it's kind of I don't want to live in a country where I feel bad for my political beliefs. And right now, it seems like the left is painting with this really broad brush. They're like, if you support this president, if you support Donald Trump, you're a racist by proxy. You're evil by proxy. And I think that's part of a larger idea to make people like ashamed and not want to vote for this president. Because if you look at that, everything's going really well. Like the economy is booming, unemployment's down, small businesses are going up, the GDP is going well. I mean, like everything is going well. And I don't know what these people are so freaked out about. So myself and a couple other comedians, we said, hey, let's just do a thing where it's kind of like a celebration. It's like, you can come in, you can watch a comedy show and not feel bad about the way you voted. We're allowed to disagree in this country. So we did, I've been doing a lot of little pops on Fox News, like Fox and Friends, stuff like that. So I was on a couple months ago and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this Deplorable Comedy Tour. And dude, boom, it was like out of a movie, We did one show in Houston and it sold out like that, like 600 seats, just boom, like that. So we're like, well, let's see what happens when we don't have that big megaphone of Fox News to back us up. So we added a show in Dallas, of all places.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and man, that one went really well. So there's a lot of excitement out there. There's a lot of people who want just a fun night of entertainment and not feeling bad about themselves. So I don't want to get ahead of anything, but we've got 15 cities lined up.
Wow.
We'll start it'll start the end of January. I'm not going to do exact dates, but I will say it's like Middle America. It's Cleveland. It's St. Louis. It's Columbus, Ohio. It's like Peoria, Illinois. But theaters. These are like
the real deal.
Big venues. Yeah.
Not Smoky Bar.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with smoky bars.
Right.
But like big theater shows. So when we did when we did our first Deplorable show in Houston, MSNBC was filming a documentary about political comedy, and they don't believe it's possible for someone who leans to the right to be funny. So they came out, they filmed the show, they watched it. So what I think we're going to try to do is like coincide with that. When that special comes out, we'll announce the dates. The website's ready to go. There'll be much ballyhoo and wonderfulness.
Nice. Well,
so you got half. You got half.
Oh, that's awesome. We got it. So
yeah.
If you come through AZ, let me know. I will bring a little caravan.
That will probably be happening. These guys, the people who are producing the show with me, are fantastic, and they know what they're doing, and that's such a wonderful thing when they're just lining up the theaters, doing the thing. Then it's that wonderful activity. It's like doing like a high school show, you know. That's probably for me. It's
actually Phoenix. I don't know anybody in Phoenix. So go on.
So yeah. So we're lining up the theaters. We're getting logos designed, social media, all that good stuff. So I'm pretty excited, man. So I'm going to get through the holidays, pitch my little shows, and then be prepared to hit the road and tell jokes, which is my favorite thing. And then keep the loftisparty.com going. So it's exciting. It's a plateful, but I'm digging it.
Nice. Well, definitely let me know, because I'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'll get some new models.
I tell you get what's the name of the group that you got back there?
The White Mountain Model Brigade.
I'm a huge fan. I want to do a photo shoot with the White Mountain Model Brigade.
All right, we'll see what I can do.
I do a thing. Here's the thing. It's like everybody thinks that like conservatives are so uptight and they don't have any fun. So like I'm doing this thing on the Loftus Party Instagram and the Loftus Party Twitter, where every Saturday is just I'm just like, here's a butt for your timeline. So it could be like a picture of Marilyn Monroe with her ass hanging out, which is awesome. Or a couple weeks ago, I found this one. It was like from 1900, right? And she's smoking hot. And it's just this black and white photo, and she's got a bow and arrow standing in the middle of the woods, and you're like, ooh, wow, grandma was a babe.
Right? Where's the time machine?
Exactly.
Let's mess up some genes.
Yeah, but in the future, what I want is like for like people who go to the loftisparty.com to be like, okay, here's one, and just selfies, man.
Well, do a little contest, have people send it in, give away a shirt.
Exactly.
A long shirt to cover the butt, just enough.
Right? And just lift it up.
Oh no, they have to buy your shirt and then send in a photo.
No. I think you had it right the first time. You submit, and then the winner gets the shirt.
Actually, I still got my Flipside shirt, but it's like a dress now because I've lost like 120 something pounds since we hung out.
But you were never big, man. What happened?
Saggy clothing. It was an illusion. I used to work for Disney.
It's an illusion.
An illusion. So yes, now it's a lot of it's just weird because my ass is bony. I don't like that.
Yeah,
but I'm afraid to get a back again.
So how did you lose the weight?
YouTube videos and what's in food. Yeah, that'll scare the hell out of you.
No, seriously, how did YouTube help you lose weight?
Those videos on what's in food and how it's made. That'll trip you out.
It's weird. I saw one on YouTube. It's like they had somebody drink blue Gatorade, and then they just tracked it through the body.
Ooh.
And that was disturbing. I didn't realize that like the company that makes the blue dye that makes the Gatorade blue, that's like a secret ingredient. So they don't have to tell you what's in it.
It's like beetle butt. crushed up or something.
I think I think that would probably be better than the actual ingredient, better
Right.
than the chemical compound.
Oh yeah, the stuff that they're putting in, it's just, I go and I'm hungry. I go through the store and I end up leaving with everything but food, just a lot of liquids.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. But
What's the let me ask you this. What's the last good meal you had? Like what's the last meal where you look back and you're like, that was just amazing?
other than 5 months ago, no,
Yeah.
I had a Thanksgiving dinner. That was good. Of
Yeah.
course, I didn't make it. Um, and then I did get a free meal at the local Toyota Christmas party I took photos at. So I got a nice steak. Other than that, if it's 30 seconds in the microwave, a nice little White Castle or something, I'm good.
There you go.
My dogs eat better than I do. So, but not being in a relationship, not that I don't want to be in a relationship, but not having that and um, just being a single guy, I'm getting so much done. Oh, and I stopped drinking 3 years ago, so that helps, saves all the
There
money.
you go. There you go. That'll
And
that'll melt it away pretty fast.
yeah, and being at the bars reminds you why I quit. You see all these people every weekend. I love them all. They're all great people, but alcohol's a mother.
It's it's every once in a while it's good to tap the brakes and
Mhm.
see how the other half is living. And you're like, yeah,
Sponsorship. I would love to get it. But yeah, I mean, when we met, I was with the JC All Stars in Dallas, and of course they're sponsored by Bud Light. Every event and glitzy red carpet premiere and everything we did, yeah. So it was nice to put on the brakes,
yeah.
and I get a lot more done, and I can afford more gear to build my little mini empire.
It's
So
amazing. It's amazing. I was on a tour. I was on a comedy tour with Bert Kreischer, super funny dude. Billy Gardell, who was the lead guy in Mike and Molly,
okay.
and a couple of other really really funny comedians. And it was the Jameson Irish Whiskey Tour.
And you remember it.
Dude, it's a miracle for like 2 years. And I tell you what, that
Oh shit.
Jameson is delicious, insanely smooth, and the people that run that company are the nicest, most generous people. And they'd be like, so what do you think's better, the 18 or the 24-year-old? And I'm like, you know what? I got to tell you, that 24 is pretty good. I like that. I might like that a little bit more. They go, okay. And the next day, dude, a case of it appears on your doorstep. It was
Whoa.
just, yeah, those were good
Wow.
times. The tour would go across America, and then it would finish. The last date was always Dublin, Ireland, at at the distillery on St. Patrick's Day, and it
Oh
was
wow.
just good times. Good times were had.
I mean, Jameson in Dublin, it's mandatory. It's
Yeah,
mandatory.
it
Isn't it?
ain't
It's
bad.
like comes out of the taps. I hear. There's no water.
They don't have like soda guns like we have here. Like when you go to a bar and they have that little hose and they just press the button and you get
Hmm.
whatever you want. So a really tasty mix is Jameson and ginger ale. It's just it'll wet your whistle, it'll refresh you, and it's a really good buzz. But they would have these little tiny cans of ginger ale, so it's like those like the little cans of like V8 or whatever.
Now on the airplane.
So you're drinking these things, and there's a bartender there, and you're like, yeah, I'll take another Jameson and ginger, and then you're glug, 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 glug with Jameson, and then the can would go. And man, a couple hours would go by, and you're singing songs, and you're having a good old time, and crying over your dead Irish relatives, and you look around, and there's just a mountain of these giant little ginger ale cans. You're like, we should really think about recycling. Like now.
Oh my god. Oh, oh man. Yeah, my face keeps hurting when I talk to you.
That's good. That's good, man.
All right, so that starts at the end of January, and it's how long? 2 months, you said?
3.
Oh, 3 months.
We're
Okay.
going to do 3 months of touring in these theaters, and then there might be another side project that we do that would take us through the summer, and then at the end of summer, beginning of fall, another 3 months of touring, and then that'll take us very close to the 2020 election.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're getting it all prepped
So
early. I like that.
hopefully both things will converge nicely. And there's already some people in some pretty high, I'll just say this, there are some people in some pretty high places that are eager to see how it goes and want to help. So that's awesome.
Nice.
Because ultimately, that's what I want to do. When I started doing the Flipside, and it was getting a bunch of press and a bunch of interviews, and I had this one guy, I can't remember what magazine he was with, but he's like, so what do you want to do with the show? And I kept saying, well, I just want to be funny. I just want it to be funny, because so often, it's just angry. They're tearing up the Constitution. And he goes, oh, you don't want to like rebrand the Republican Party? And I'm like, no, man, I just want it to be funny. And then now that I've been like paying attention to politics and the political culture and pop culture, I'm like, wow, I want to rebrand the entire conservative movement, the Republican Party. They have this thing where if you close your eyes and think about a conservative, you just see like a fat guy in a suit who's like zero fun.
Right.
And somebody's got to change that. So it might as well be me.
Cool. So, I mean, seriously, if the opportunity presents, don't at least look through the door, at least peek through the door.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I'll peek. I peek through a lot of doors, but I haven't walked through a lot of them. So,
yeah,
that's compelling. That's compelling.
Fun,
that's kind of what I'm really enjoying with the show is I'm already cross promoting with other big name YouTubers that have lots of subscribers, but we're all just grassroots people just in our homes trying to get the word out or entertain people, because regular news and entertainment is just crazy. Now, you being a writer, what do you think about, don't jinx your job or anything.
Okay.
With Hollywood, how do you, or what's your perspective on the types of movies that are coming out? I mean, you have all of this, we're going to go a little sci-fi direction, just so you know.
Yeah.
You got all this end of the world, end days movies. You've got alien invasions. You've got cloning. All this stuff that used to be dreamed of. I've spoken with people in the industry, and they said, yeah, back in the 50s, it was cowboy movies and Westerns. Today, it's landing on Mars and end of the world, natural disasters. Do you think this is a way of pre-programming society that, hey, this is coming?
Not really.
Okay.
But I definitely think that you are onto something. There is a huge portion of very, very smart people who realize the power of persuasion that you have through entertainment. Mm-hmm. Andrew Breitbart, the guy who started Breitbart, famously said that politics follows pop culture. So if you establish something in pop culture, the rest of the country will find it acceptable. So you can do that. Mm-hmm. You can do this thing where you put an idea out there and you wrap it up in entertainment, and then you change people's minds. I think with with cloning and Mars and all that stuff, it's here, right? So there's interesting conundrums, and there's good movies. Like, what was that movie? I think it was called The Island, where all these people are living on the island and they think that if they get chosen, they go on a boat and they go to the promised land, and it turns out they're clones.
Yeah, with DiCaprio. Oh wait, no, not DiCaprio.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, it's underground, and at the end they come out.
Yeah.
Kind of like Logans Run, kind of.
Yeah. Which they should remake, by the way. So yes. I think all of that stuff is just right there on the culture. Like Gattaca was a great flick, and now they're going to start doing that. They're going to look at your genes and they're going to go, well, you have a genetic predisposition for this disease, so we're not going to insure. It's going to be like that. It's right there on the horizon. And with Mars and that stuff, I think Elon Musk is going to go. I think that dude is legit going to go in the next 5 years. What concerns me, and this isn't funny, this is just very, very disconcerting, is that if you look at, like, okay, when the Flipside was on, there was one show. That was us, the Flipside. Every other show, and I think there was like 9 of them at the time, were like The Daily Show, Stephen Colbert, blah, blah, blah. So it's all the left making fun of the right. There's no pushback. The BBC calls me up. I do at least 2 or 3 interviews with the BBC every year because they can't believe it. They can't believe that it's not even in America.
Like, you should be a Democrat because you're an entertainer.
Right, but they say for every political comedy show in England that makes fun of the right, there is an equal and opposite show that makes fun of the left. That's just how it goes. And boy, howdy, they do not want the competition in America. They do not. You've got Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, The Daily Show, Jim Jeffries, Samantha Bee. The list goes on and on. Then you got Bill Maher, and then you've got John Oliver, and you've got Netflix shows, and it's like there's not one mainstream big platform show that makes fun of the left, and that should scare a lot of people. You're not getting the whole story, and like a lot of like these people do idiotic things and they need to be made fun of. It's crazy. They used to, like, Sarah Palin said, "I can see Russia from my porch." And she was saying that, and everyone knew she was saying that metaphorically.
Yeah,
everyone knew it, but they painted her as an idiot to discredit her, and it worked. And now you've got this Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez girl.
Yeah, she came out of nowhere.
She came out of nowhere. She's like a legit socialist. And she's like, well, things will be different once we control all 3 branches of Congress. And you're like, honey, 3 branches of Congress? What are the 3 branches of government? And she does not know. And she's a legit moron. And people are like, but socialism.
She looks great on film, on camera.
Exactly. So someone needs to push back. And I think that's where the YouTube community is. Like the Flipside had a YouTube channel, and we would put videos up there, but it was all sporadic and haphazard. And then like 2 years ago, I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna upload a video every week, and things were going good. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm doing 2 a week. I'm completely addicted to YouTube. I love it, and it's wildly exciting when you think about the citizen journalist that is out there, like, legitimately covering things and trying to give you a different point of view. And so that's awesome and it's wonderful, but it also, like, it terrifies me when people start getting kicked off the platform. Like, whether you agree with him or not, like what they did to Alex Jones was terrifying.
Yes,
and should scare everybody. And then they're kicking people off of Facebook left and right. They're kicking people off of Twitter left and right just because they have different opinions. And then people are like, well, there is no freedom of speech on Twitter because that's a privately owned, and usually it's freaking Republicans who will say this. Hey, Twitter's a privately owned company. They can do whatever you want. Go to a different platform. So you go to a different platform, and then they deplatform the platform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, they will not, like right now, the guy from Google is testifying, and that's, you know they were skewing search results. Mm-hmm. You know it. And he's insisting that they didn't, and they don't, you know, they don't dial down conservative voices and all that stuff. And then you got a bunch of 70-year-old white men asking the questions that don't even know what Facebook is and
or how to turn on a computer. Right?
But it's good that people like you and I are on YouTube, and that, you know, we're in touch with different creators and supporting one another, because that's really, dude, that's the other big reason that I did the loftusparty.com. It's like it's my Alamo, it's my bunker, you know, and so I'm trying to grow it and trying to get more people to go there. And I don't think people realize that, like, wow, I can just jump in to a conversation and start my own conversation. But I'm hoping that, you know, with the press that comes from the Deplorable comedy tour and all that stuff, I'll help get the word out there.
Right.
It really is my Alamo for if somebody just decides, and this is like the philosophical notion of it all. If you don't exist on Facebook, and if you don't exist on Twitter or Instagram, you have nowhere else to go unless you start your own website. Mm-hmm. And then how do you get people to go there? Because you can't tell them. So it's exciting times, and it's also very dangerous times. If you can't, there are people who, this is going to sound real tinfoil hat, they don't know about the dangers of socialism. Mm-hmm. They just don't know. And if you start doing research, it gets really, really scary really fast. I mean, there are millions upon millions. If you thought the Holocaust was bad, take a look at what Stalin did to his own people. Take a look at what happened in China. Take a look at what's happening right now in Venezuela. And just a couple years ago, just like, dude, when we were doing the Flipside, we did a monologue. I think I did one called "This Bernie Sanders Crap Isn't Cute Anymore." Yeah. Because he was like legit going, man, Venezuela, that's the best. That's the best. Hugo Chavez is really helping out the people. And then, boy, that turned into a crap show super fast. And no one ever calls Bernie Sanders on that. Like, if I was debating Bernie Sanders, I wouldn't even talk to him. I would just press play on the video clip. Right. And be like, dude, you obviously have no idea what you're talking about. You're a moron. You're a buffoon.
Well, speaking of Venezuela, did you hear that some Russian nuke planes just landed there? More than one?
Yeah. And it's always kind of sad. Like, did you see the plane? They showed it landing.
Oh, it looks so debacled, or not debacled, disheveled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they took it out of the hangar with, well, let's get the cobwebs off before it takes off.
That's
Hold
what
on,
worries
there's
me.
a nest in the engine. Let me just get rid of these little birdies.
I think the Russian people want to live just like we do, but like, I'm worried about their technology, because it looks like they bought a couple of old Concords.
That's what it looks like, a Concorde
garage sale.
Because, you know, they went out of business, so they're like, hey, we got cheap Concorde right here for $1 million.
Just what do you have? I was going to ask for $5 million, but how much in your pocket? 100? Okay, 100,000. It's yours. Take it. The parachutes that stop it.
You just make sure it's a very long runway.
Yeah. Have you seen the Russian aircraft carrier?
With a little whoop at the end?
Yeah.
It works, but I keep just imagining the front landing gear right as it goes off the edge.
It's actually, it looks silly. I encourage everyone who's watching the show, Google Russian aircraft carrier, because the thing is, it's built, it's like flat, and then at the end, which actually makes a lot of sense.
It does, but it has a Dr. Seuss feel to it.
They're right. It's not, there's a lack of an intimidation factor when the cartoony ship rolls up. You're like, oh no, a Russian aircraft carrier, but it's adorable. It's adorable. They're not gonna hurt us. Look at that cute little wooden ship.
It's like it's smiling.
It looks so happy.
Oh my god.
We are the happiest ship in the Navy. We're happy to be dropping bombs on you.
Yes, we have these nice little hats with little stringings off this side, and we dance.
Yeah, and then we dance. Hey.
Oh my gosh! All right, man, I can't wait to hang out with you again.
Yeah, no doubt. I gotta come. I gotta see where you're living and see where you're doing all your movie shoots and the locations and all that stuff.
Yeah, be careful though. You'll fall in love. Actually, a very big wig. I'll tell you off screen. Somebody I know that's, looking at places up here. So
I bet.
it's getting known. The fact that nobody knew about it, unless you just had a rental cabin, it is the #1 log cabin vacation home place in the country.
Oh, yeah.
More trees than anything. We got my dear friend Travis Walton from Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Maybe if when we do that, we're talking to either Netflix or Amazon. We're going to see what happens. I'm not. Someone else is a representative. But when that goes through, we plan on filming up here the remake. His son, Luke, my friend, will be playing him, which is really cool. So we're going to be doing flash forwards, what's kind of got everything on pause right now is he's doing taking all the scientific research that's been done over the years, like the tree bark from the trees that the UFO came in, the interior in the little opening, the interior of all the trees were radiated and grew out faster and larger. Where you have the tree rings and they're like ring, 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 ring.
Yeah.
Well, it was like ring, 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 and then ring, 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 really huge. And so they took all these core samples, and that's the kind of stuff he wants to implement. So when we do the flash forward to today, he'll play himself. We'll be in a lab, looking at stuff. So 60% of it was Hollywood embellished. He said, I wasn't naked. I wasn't covered in goo. I didn't stick my hand in some half alive body. And so he wants to set the record straight.
You got to do what you got to do. You got to sell that Hollywood.
But you should audition.
Yeah.
You should audition. Yeah. I don't know. I told you about the movie Turnover that I got to work on in Long Beach. It was a few months back. I wore your Flipside shirt, so you were there in spirit on set.
Nice. Well done.
So, but that's going to be a pretty fun movie. That's coming out. There was something that was going to connect with that, and I just forgot.
Well, I just want to get back to the UFO thing.
Oh, yeah, UFOs.
I'm blown away, and it's too funny, but Tucker Carlson from Fox News is like the only guy I can think of who's keeping an eye on the UFO story. There's been some insane sightings. Insane. Probably the most famous one, the one that Tucker had on his show on Fox recently, was the guys, I think they might have been Navy pilots. Oh,
the Tic Tac video.
Well, yeah, they were off the coast of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that was pretty wild. That was pretty wild stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, under Malibu, there is an entrance. It's on Google Maps. They've scanned it. It's these gigantic, massive pillars and then a flat bedrock, and it looks constructed, and it's an opening. Supposedly the Navy uses it.
Wow.
But a lot of UFOs or UFOs in the underwater UFOs. Submerged, I forgot what they're called, but they come out of there too along the Malibu beach. So did you even know that here in Arizona, in the middle of Arizona, we have a submarine training academy?
No, I didn't know that.
Because underground, there are these huge underground rivers and oceans that our government uses to navigate. They can go all the way up. Okay, do you remember Cheney when he bought the aircraft, or he was going to buy an aircraft carrier?
Kind of, yeah.
And he was gonna have it delivered to Montana or Wyoming, wherever he's from.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, because he knew, the Navy knows, they've got maps of how it's going to be when the crap hits a fan and everything splits open. The Mississippi will be like a massive ocean river kind of thing. The whole song Oceanfront Property in Arizona.
Yeah.
He knew something.
So I tell you what, there was that weird seismic event a couple days ago.
Are you talking about the 11th, the ring that went around the world for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Felt it, but all the seismographs got it? Yes, and it came off of the island of Malta. I reported on it. I try to stay up with all the earthquakes, especially the 7s and higher. There was 7.5 and 6 off of the South Island or Sandwich Islands yesterday.
Yeah.
And right off the coast of Antarctica. And then a few days before that, off of New Zealand, that was a 7.6. and there was barely any damage. There was no tsunamis, but you'd think, and it was shallow too. So it was surprising. Luckily, the one in Antarctica yesterday, no major buildings or anything. It's mostly penguins and all that. But something's happening. The earth is shaking. She's scratching her back a lot. And, my show is about bringing that knowledge, not as a fear monger, but so hopefully people can prepare and also eliminate the stigma of the word prepper.
Yeah.
Nothing upsets me more is when people look at me like I'm a tinfoil wearing hat because I prep. It's like our governments do it, our law enforcement, EMTs, firefighters, they all do it. They all have bug out bags in every police car.
Yeah.
Every CIA, FBI, all of them, Navy SEALs. Other countries, Russia, but they do it openly. They've built bunkers for all of their citizens. Whereas here, they build them all like, you can't come in.
Yeah.
You got your 1% card, you can't come in. And it's crazy. They're all getting ready for it. They all know that something, wormwood or solar flares, something's going to happen. There's a cycle, and we're getting to that point.
Yeah.
Or our governments wouldn't be missing $3 trillion, the day before 9/11, and then it's forgotten about. Perfect time to announce it.
Yeah.
And all that went into all the underground tunnel systems that people, gawk at and dismiss. Going, that's no, dude. They've got, maglev train systems that, the whole hyperloop that Elon's doing. And if you ever meet him, tell him I want him on my show.
My kids actually, my one of my sons is going to be going to the facility soon for like a field trip.
Can
they're going to see that. They're going. Yeah, right. We both go. We both go and just kind of disappear.
We just have to make sure everything's legit. But
Jimmy, do you have your lunch? All right, I'll see you.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's one of the few that I feel I could keep up with, because sometimes my brain is going so fast, and I'm like him. I mean, if you look, my walls are just marker board everywhere.
Yeah.
Because my brain is just going a million miles a minute. Remember the movie Real Genius with Val Kilmer?
Do I?
Yes.
That's one of the best movies ever.
Remember the girl that would do like sanding her floors at 4 a.m.? That's me. It's like, I just got to go. When you have near-death experiences and, should not be here, you really want to eat the marrow out of life, like Robin Williams says, every day.
Yeah.
And because, you don't know if tomorrow's going to be here. So I want to make sure stuff gets done.
Dig it.
So I really, really want to get you in a film.
That'd be great.
Or a series. So anytime I get something set up, you're in. Just know that.
Do it. I want to come see where you're hanging out.
Yes, absolutely. And I really want to talk more about that script idea we discussed earlier, because I think if you're going to hook a king, as they say, do it that way, right?
Yeah. So, dig it.
All right. Well, real quick, I just want to give us a little shout out. Have you ever seen this magazine, Offgrid?
No, I have not.
Okay. There's not like a document signed yet, but I'm making them an official sponsor of the Survival Prepper Expo, May 25th and 6th at the Honda Casino Resort in Pine Top, Arizona. And you ever heard of Recoil magazine? Do you do guns?
No, I don't. I got to get into guns. I got to get into that.
If you're worried about the paperwork, just do what the Navy SEALs do in the Green Berets. Just take one off the first dead body you come across, no paperwork. That's what I'm waiting. I won't. But this, you've read Rob Report, DuPont Registry. It's kind of like that, but for preppers. Not that it's all expensive stuff. It's just classy. It's a gritty cover.
Yeah.
I love. See, this is the second time I bit this thing. It's manly feeling on here. I want to touch it. So they teach you how to do in this one issue, how to do pit maneuvers, how to do karate and all kinds of other stuff. It's like a manual, a survival manual each issue. and they are going to be a sponsor of my event, and we will be in the February issue nationwide.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now, when is that? That happens in May?
May 25th and 6th, and we've got John D'Souza, who I told you about, 25 years, former FBI agent, Special Investigations Division, and he was the foundation for the creation of the X-Files and Fox Mulder. So he'll be there talking about some things. He'll also be at Disclosure Con in October, and we have Ed Caladron. I got to pull this up so I say the right thing, because you will be blown away at this, man. I mean, the people I've been getting, like you, I was nervous to get him on today. And he's my friend. All right, so go to survivalprepperexpo.com if you, to the audience.
Gotcha.
And you can too if you want. We have 2 guest speakers so far, and we'll probably have a few more. But Ed Calderon spent over a decade working in the fields in counter narcotics, organized crime investigation, public safety in the northern border region of Mexico. He also coordinated and worked executive protection details for high-level government officials and visiting dignitaries. Some of the most dangerous parts of the country. He studied this is crazy. He studied into the indigenous Mexican criminal culture, from the occult practices to endemic modus operandi, have led him to be recognized as one of the world's preeminent researchers and trainers in the field of personal security that have come out of Mexico. He's worked with Navy SEALs and law enforcement agencies, federal, Indonesian COPSCA. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Neither have I. Mexican United States Intelligence. I mean, dude, this is a bad dude. It's going to be awesome to have him. And he's going to be teaching people. We're going to do like a Mythbusters thing where he's going to go, okay, you know that really cool escape and evade trick you saw on YouTube? All right, let's try that. Okay, see how they did work? This is what you do. And he's going to show the right way to do things. So that's going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love this. Like a buddy of mine, when I was working on anger management, there was this guy who would come in as a consultant. Really funny dude. We became really good friends. Sam Simon, who was one of the creators of The Simpsons.
Yes.
And he was into prepping big time. And like, I always have my earthquake kit ready to go, but that's as far as I went. And Sam, he did okay off of The Simpsons. He did okay. I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried about him financially. He's like, dude, it is an expensive hobby. You can spend a fortune. There's so much great stuff. So I'm worried. Like, I have one of those personalities that when I do get into it, I'm going to get way into it.
Yeah. It's the lifestyle. I've learned, like, when I go to Walmart going shopping, they have an aisle up here. Because we're mostly, got a lot of Mormons, a lot of preppers up here, a lot of ex-alphabet agents that know that this is a safe zone. Because the crap, it's a fan. We have a Mormon militia.
Nice.
And they will take the bridges out. Nobody in the valley, Phoenix. Nope. You're screwed. You chose the heat. We'll keep the seasons. So. But it is, bring the family. You'll love it here. We got lakes. Drive slow if you drive up here. Herds of livestock and deer and antelope play, and dinosaurs run across the street. They have these things, they call them cows. I was doing the morning show here a while back. I'm driving into Sholo, and these gigantic dinosaur things come running across the road, larger than Clydesdale horses. And they had these little nubbins like they would have horns, right? So I'm freaking out, bigger than my car. I get into the radio station. I'm like, dude, I just saw these dinosaurs. And I was describing it to him on the air, and he was like, dude, those are cows. I'm like, F you. I'm from Texas. I know what a freaking cow is. But that's what they call them up here, is cows. So,
wow.
Yeah. And we got bear. I've had bear walk down the street. I had one in my front yard. Yeah. But when you drive around, a lot of people have these gigantic wooden sculptures or carved out of trees, bears.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just the motif around here. No, that's because they come by and they're like, oh, okay, I'm not going over there. They see this big bear. So, George Strait, his house was down the street from mine when I first moved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he comes out here. I haven't caught him. He's like Bigfoot. So,
But that's
yeah.
cool that he's hanging around. Do you ever hear him playing in the middle of the night, working on some cowboy ditty, yodel diddle?
No, but you do probably hear that once in a while. You just stand outside long enough.
I think it's awesome, man. I think it's awesome. I want to come check it out.
Well, cool. Well, you have a place to stay. You know, it's not on the couch. I actually have rooms.
All right. Well, dude, this has been fantastic.
Yes, it has. So we'll call it now, and hopefully you'll come back.
I'd love it. I'd love it. Let's do it again, man. This is an awesome setup. It's very easy. I like easy. Easy is good.
Well, let's say that after it's finished uploading.
Well, shoot me a text and let me know when it's up.
I will. I'll send you a link. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to say my goodbyes.
Cool, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you later, bud.
All right. I'll call you in a little bit. Bye.
All right.
Bye. All right, folks. Doc Skinner here, and that was the amazing Michael Loftus from the Loftis Party. Check him out at theloftisparty.com. You can also check him out on YouTube as well. What else? I think I spilled all the beans on everything that's going on if you didn't know already. But we do have more guests coming up if you are just joining us for the first time. This Thursday, we got Natasha Nix from Mysterious Forces Live, who will be joining us. And we're gonna announce something. We got something pretty cool coming up. Oh yeah! For all you UFO buffs out there, we're gonna do something very, very cool, and hopefully not go to jail. So be sure to check us out here 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Hopefully, I'm gonna get this little glitch before. I couldn't. All of a sudden, it's like YouTube would not let me upload or stream live. I had to upload videos, and Facebook was okay. Now Facebook is doing the same thing. So I'm going to go back and check some settings. Maybe everything will be worked out by Thursday. If not, you'll still see my ugly mug, and we'll have amazing Natasha Nix here. And then on December 20th, I've got amazing, brilliant mind of our time, Josh Toms, who is with the Nikola Tesla Science Society out of Colorado, and we're going to be talking about God knows what, but it's going to be freaking awesome, and it's going to be smart, and you're going to like it. Then Christmas Day, don't know what yet I'm going to do, but something will be airing. So solo guy here, Christmas, get it. So come spend it with me. Hopefully the live feed will work. We'll get the chat involved, and we'll just sit here and chat all night. We'll hang out with each other. We'll celebrate Christmas. Then the 27th, I'm going to bring a few of the guests back and maybe some other new guests. We're going to just have them, little 10-minute intervals, 15 minutes, something like that. And we're going to be talking about the year 2018, looking back, and also predicting 2019. So that should be exciting. And then, let's see, I've got, no, that's the wrong thing. On Thursday. Oh, helps if I turn the page. There we go. Thursday the 3rd, I got Troy. He's from Offgrid Box, and it's out of Boston. It's a steel metal box container that has a water purification pumping system, as well as solar panels to provide electricity. It's great for preppers, anybody living off grid, or somebody having it for a backup in case the power goes out. And if you've been watching the news, a lot of that's been going on. So please be sure to check us out then. And what's so great about, let me just point this about offgridbox.com, or nets.com. These cases, they allow people to purchase them. And let's say you have a hunting lodge, and then you're going to sell it a few years later. Well, they will do a buyback of your power system, your solar panels, and the whole box. It's a big one, all-in-one kit, right? And they will buy it back, and they'll donate it to a third world country or small town or village where they don't have electricity and clean water. So an amazing company, small startup, and they're doing great wonders, and we're going to have them on our show as well. Okay, I think we are all caught up. Go get your newest edition of Offgrid Magazine. They rock. And I'm going to call it. We're right about an hour. So thank you so much to my guest, Michael Loftus. You will hear from him again. I guarantee it. And so many big things I want to tell you, but got to keep some secrets. Okay, folks, Doc Skinner, I'm out of here. And for Miss D'Souza, ciao bella.